Well, guys, are you all ready for, guess what? It's story time. We're going to have a really neat story today. We'll try not to wake Cece. She's asleep and so soundly. But, you know what? Our two little babies from Gagon, that galaxy far, far away, has never heard any of the stories that you guys have, so they're going to be really excited. Wesley and Zoe, get ready. It's story time. Once upon a time, there was a carpenter whose name was Geppetto. One day he was taking a walk in the magical forest. He stopped because he heard a voice say, "Hello." He looked, but he did not see anyone. He soon realized the voice came from a piece of wood. So he picked it up and took it home, and the next day he carved a little puppet boy from it. He bought little boy's clothes, and there was a cute little suit with a hat and a feather on it. The little boy was so happy he started dancing around the room, which made Geppetto happy too. Geppetto said, "I am your father, and I will name you Pinocchio. You must be like the other children and go to school." So the next day, Geppetto told him, "Today you will start school." Pinocchio was so happy with his wooden legs, he skipped off to school. As he was skipping along, a cricket hopped up on his shoulder. He said to Pinocchio, "Can I be your friend? I will teach you right from wrong." As they walked a little farther, they met a fox and a cat. They heard the jingle of the money in Pinocchio's pocket as he walked. "Don't go to school," said the fox. "Come and play with us instead." Pinocchio did not know any better, and he thought that was a great idea. But the cricket said, "No, no, I don't think you are doing the right thing." "Your father said you should go to school." "You are not doing what your father told you to do." But Pinocchio just ignored what the cricket said. The cat and the fox took Pinocchio into the dark forest. "If you plant the money here, it will grow into a money tree," they told him. "Just come back tomorrow and you'll see." "That doesn't sound right," said the cricket. "That money was for your lunch." But again, Pinocchio didn't listen to the cricket. He dug a hole and put the coins in the hole. Then Pinocchio went home. He was very hungry because he did not have lunch. He did not tell his father that he had not been to school. The next morning, Pinocchio did not go to school again. Instead, with the cricket on his shoulder, he skipped to the forest to find the money tree. When Pinocchio reached the spot where he had buried the coins, there was no money tree. He dug down to find the coins that he had planted, but they were gone. "The fox and the cat have played a trick on you," said the cricket. "They just wanted to get your money." Pinocchio felt really silly, and he pretended it didn't bother him. He started to head into the forest more. "I'm going to walk the forest," Pinocchio said. "Oh no," said the cricket, "please don't do that. Let's go home to Geppetto." But Pinocchio kept walking, and soon it was dark. Pinocchio was a little scared. Then they came upon a cottage. Pinocchio went to the door and knocked loudly. A pretty blue fairy came and opened the door. "We are lost," said Pinocchio. "Can you help us?" The fairy said, "Come on in. I have some food I can offer you. Why are you so far away from home?" Pinocchio did not want to tell the fairy that he disobeyed his father. "I was chased by a giant," Pinocchio said. Suddenly, Pinocchio's nose grew a little. Pinocchio continued to say, "The giant was taller than the trees." Pinocchio's nose grew bigger again. "And I ran into the forest to get away," he continued. And his nose grew bigger again. He reached up and he touched his nose. He didn't know why his nose got bigger and bigger. "I have put a spell on you," said the fairy. "Every time you tell a lie, your nose will grow." Pinocchio began to cry. Oh, how he wished he had gone to school that day as his father wanted him to do. "I won't tell a lie anymore," Pinocchio promised. The fairy called in some friendly woodpeckers who pecked at Pinocchio's nose until it was back to normal size. At daylight, Pinocchio rushed back through the forest with a cricket on his shoulder. "From now on, I will do what my father tells me," Pinocchio said. But when he got home, Geppetto was not there. Pinocchio found a note on the table. It said, "Dear Pinocchio, I have gone to find you. I miss you and I love you. Your father, Geppetto." Pinocchio was so sad. He knew he had caused a lot of trouble. "We must go out and look for my father," he cried. So once again, with the cricket on his shoulder to help, they went out looking for his father. They came to a river. Pinocchio was too close to the edge of the bank and he fell into the river. The cricket jumped in to help him, but they were both swallowed up by a big fish. There in the fish's stomach they found Geppetto. Pinocchio hugged his father and said, "I won't ever leave you again." Clever little Pinocchio took the feather from his hat and tickled the fish. The fish gave a big sneeze. And Geppetto, Pinocchio, and the little cricket were all spit out of the fish's mouth and landed on the bank of the river. That night, when Pinocchio was tucked in his bed, he fell asleep, fast asleep. The blue fairy flew in the window and said, "You are a brave boy." As he slept, she kissed him on the forehead. When Pinocchio woke up the next morning, he found he was no longer made of wood. He was a real boy. From then on, he was always a good son to his father. He was always best friends to the cricket and who never had to tell him right from wrong again.